Welcome back, friends, to Max Q Barbecue. My name is Craig, and this is Season 2, Episode 11, Homemade Smoked Bacon. Today, we have a 5.86 pound pork belly that we're going to cure so that we can smoke it in a week from now and turn this into homemade smoked bacon. So let's go to the basement, pull out the computer, and calculate what we need to put in the place of our brine. Our curing recipes start with a spreadsheet that I created to calculate the percentage or the amounts of salt and the amount of curing salt that I would use that would provide safe levels for our cure. All of this is based upon the total weight of the protein that we're going to use, and if we had any water, how much of it would be diluted in the water. But since we're going to be doing a dry bath today, I've set the amount of water to 0, and this is a 5.86 pound pork belly, so I've got that in as my weight, which gives me a conversion into ounces and grams. From that, I use my percentages. My first line here is our kosher salt. I'm going to start with a 3% kosher salt. So that gives me about 79.88 grams. And I'm going to do a 0.3%. Remember, that's 0.003 multiplier, or 0.3%, which is less than 1% of our curing salt. And that's going to be about 8 grams of curing salt. So let's go back to the kitchen, weigh up our ingredients, and let's go cure that pork belly. Let's start with our Insta-Cure number 1. This is what was commonly known as Prague powder number 1. We're going to use about 8 grams, so we're going to tar our container, and we have it set for grams. I like to work with grams. It's just a little easier measure to work with. So we're just going to start adding our Insta-Cure number 1 till we get up to about 8 grams. Okay. Next, we're going to add about 80 grams of our Morton kosher salt. And we like a little bit of black pepper with our bacon, so we're going to do a little black pepper with our bacon. So we're going to add a similar amount of black pepper, about 80 grams as well. And that's going to give us a nice peppery crust. Actually, I may cut that down to about 40 because pepper's lighter than the salt, or less dense. So I'm only adding 40 grams of pepper. I have with me today some natural honey, and we're going to use this in our mixture as well. So let's get that pork belly opened up and let's start getting it seasoned. We have our pork belly laid out here on our tray. We have our spice and curing mix here in this little container. We're going to open this up and we're going to liberally dust it over the surface. Next thing we're going to do, I have a 2.5 gallon hefty bag. And we'll slide our pork belly into the bag. Okay. And the next thing we want to do is make sure we get all of our seasoning in the bag with it. Our cure and our salt. Empty the rest of our salt in from the other side. Alrighty. Close up our hefty bag. We're also going to squeeze out as much air as we possibly can. Not quite vacuum seal it. But now we can flip and rotate our seasoning mix to keep it in good contact with our pork butt, or pork belly, pork belly. And we're gonna place this in our outdoor refrigerator for 5 to 7 days. Actually, we're gonna do it until next weekend. So we'll be back in about 8 days, and we'll pull this out. We'll fire up the workhorse pit, and we'll smoke our bacon. See you next week. Well, folks, I almost forgot one special ingredient. I wanted to add some honey to our cure. So I've got some little honey that I'm pouring into our bag over our pork belly, just to give it a little bit of sweetness to go along with our salt and our pepper. So this completes our cure mix. So now I can put it away in the refrigerator. Welcome back, friends. It is January 6th, and as you can see, we've had a couple of inches of snow overnight. But today we're gonna cold smoke our bacon, our pork belly that we've been curing for the last 10 days. So before we do, I wanna set up the barbecue pit. One of the first things is I've taken out the grates here in the cooking chamber, and I put my hanging rod in here because we're gonna hang our pork belly from this rod. We've got our fire box cleaned out. So our technique today, we're gonna build a charcoal fire to keep the pit warm, just to provide a little bit of heat. And we're going to use our smoke tube to generate our smoke, to put the smoke on our bacon. Now the thing about our bacon is we need to cold smoke it, which means we don't want to raise the temperature up of the meat more than about 125 to 130 degrees. So we're going to try to maintain our pit temperature around 100 to 150 degrees. Just enough so that we can make smoke, just enough so we can put some smoke on the meat and allow the meat to absorb it. And as you know, our bacon is already cured. We're just trying to add that smoke flavor. So let's get this charcoal basket set up. Let's get the charcoal lit, and let's get this smoked bacon on its way. Our pork belly has been curing in our outdoor refrigerator for about 10 days. As you remember, we used a combination of salt, some curing salt. We also used honey and black pepper. So this is our honey glazed black pepper cure that we have on our bacon. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean this, take this out of the bag, wipe it down, dry it off, and use our bacon hooks, our bacon rack here, 6 prongs. You can get these from the sausage maker. And we're gonna hang our bacon, and when our pit's up to temperature, we're gonna go out and start smoking our bacon. We're pouting dry our pork belly just to get off that excess liquid. Let it dry out just a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and attach our bacon hooks. There you have it, ready to go on the pit. Alrighty folks, it's been about 45 minutes since we started our fire, and our pit is coming up to temperature. It's still warm, but not too warm that we can't touch it. But we're gonna go ahead and get our smoke stick started. What we're gonna be using is our stainless steel smoke stick here, filled with some pecan pellets, and we're going to place this in our fire chamber and light one end of it and let this thing burn down and generate smoke. Once we get this started and into the fire chamber, then we're going to go inside and get our pork belly and bring it out and put it on our smoker. Okay folks, we have our pit warmed up and our smoke stick in there. We've got our pork belly dried out. It's been drying out after we took it out of our cure media. So now we're gonna go hang this in our backyard offset smoker on our top rack rod and let the smoke start doing its job, giving it that flavor. We've got our Signal Works ThermoPen Pro probes. We've got a high and a low on our pork. We just want to monitor our temperature. We don't want to let it get above about 130 or we start rendering the fat. As you can see, we got plenty of beautiful smoke coming into our chamber. So let's shut this thing down, let our smoke go to work. Welcome back, friends. It is now 12:15. It's been a couple hours since we checked on the fire. The temperatures have been around to 80 degrees and now down to 71. So we know we got our temperatures are tailing off. So let's take a look and see what's going on inside of our fire chamber. We still got about a half a stick of the pellets. Let's see if I can bring this over and give you a close-up view. As you can see, there's about a half a stick of pellets there, but we're gonna have to work on our charcoal fire bed to get some heat going. So let me get over here and stir up the fire a little bit and get that moving. Sorry about my camera work. It's kind of hard when you do it by yourself, but we'll get it done. Bring you this video so you can get some ideas. So I have these tongs here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on these coals a little bit. So we put about a pound or two of lump charcoal. There's a lot of charcoal dust there, which is kind of extinguish our fire a little bit. So I'm going to wiggle it around a little bit, give it some room. And hopefully there's enough heat left in that charcoal that it'll go ahead and ignite that charcoal, keep it going. And we'll let you know in a little bit how it does. Well, folks, I noticed when I flipped the bacon around that the thinner part of the bacon was up, which is the hotter side of the smoke chamber. So I'm going to flip that rack over and have the thicker part up. That is doing beautifully. Gloves also, I'll get that smoke all over. So there we have it, letting our smoke do the job. It's been on the smoke for about 2 hours now. I'm gonna try to give it about 4 hours of smoke. So we'll probably pull it off around 2. And I may work on trying to bring that temperature up a little bit. Might throw a cherry split or something in there to give it a little bit more zing. Alrighty, take care. Welcome back, friends. Our fire's starting to go out a little bit, but that's okay. We've been cold smoking. We still got smoke flowing through the pit, but I think it's time to go ahead and take our bacon off. It's been smoking for since 10:15, 11:15, 12:15, 1:15, 2:15. So it's got 4 hours of smoke on it. I think that's plenty of smoke. So let's go ahead and take this thing off. And we're going to bring it inside and we're going to put it into our refrigerator and chill it down before we slice it. Look how pretty that is. Nice color, pretty bacon. Welcome back, friends, to our Making Bacon episode. We're going to go ahead and square up these ends so I can take this downstairs and put it on our commercial meat slicer and make us some bacon slices. So I'm going to cut down through here and get me a nice square edge. And you get your first view of what our bacon looks like. We'll do the same thing over here on this edge. There you go. Boy, doesn't that look pretty? Very pretty. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to take this down to my commercial meat slicer and make us some sliced bacon. Welcome back, friends. We've completed up all of the slicing of our bacon, and we vacuum sealed it all, got it all laid out, ready to go in the refrigerator and the freezer. Got a couple of samples here that I fried up. Just want to give those a quick taste. Now this is one of the little thicker pieces. Now that's some good bacon. I tell you what, there's nothing like homemade bacon. This bacon has that honey flavor. You know, we cured it with honey, and that honey just comes right on through. Very light on the black pepper, even though there was a lot of black pepper. It wasn't a lot of salt in our cure, so it's not as salty as commercial or store-bought bacon. Fries up without popping and sputtering all over because this bacon was not injected. So all in all, 2 thumbs up for homemade bacon, and we're gonna be eating good in the neighborhood. You guys have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.